Hello, the cost of a huge fire at the National Motorcycle Museum is expected to total £15 million. But in truth, many of the hundreds of vintage motorbikes destroyed are priceless and irreplaceable. And the cause of the fire, a discarded cigarette.
It's a lifetime's work up in smoke for a group of dedicated enthusiasts at the museum near Birmingham Airport. But the owner vowed today the museum would rise again from the ashes. Well, Eric McInnes has spent the day there. Well, Eric, I expect the mood there has been pretty sombre.
Absolutely, Lou. 24 hours ago, when I was reporting live on the fire from across the road, we certainly had sinking feeling that we were going to see considerable damage, but none of us had an inkling of just how much damage there was going to be to this world-renowned motorcycle collection. Just to give you the latest estimates on the insurance cost, they're talking about £25 million worth of damages, £9 million of that to the motorcycles themselves. Some of these machines were absolutely priceless. And just to give you an example of the heartache, this Hall 5, just recently they brought all of their BSA motorcycles in here to celebrate 100 years of that fantastic British mark. Well, as you can just see the level of damage. And I've counted at least 20 of these machines. Well, it's very unlikely that they'll ever be restored. A lifetime's work ruined by one moment of carelessness. A smouldering cigarette butt ignited this world-renowned collection of motorcycles on the M42 east of Birmingham, reducing it to mangled wreckage. Many of these vintage bikes were one-offs. 30 alone were worth over £100,000 each. Over 200 went up in smoke. Most are irreplaceable. This morning, owner Roy Richards toured the 3 halls of the museum that housed his most treasured collection.
This morning when I arrived, as daylight was breaking, it was mortifying, more than you could take. But now there's total determination, and our aim is 18 months up and running again.
The fire started yesterday afternoon. The cigarette butt lit old air conditioning filters and then the roof. Hundreds of firefighters did their best to curb the advance of the flames, but the damage was done. A black plume of smoke curled hundreds of feet into the air. There were no casualties, but a mad dash by dozens of conference delegates and staff to rescue as many of the bikes as they could. And for good reason. The building continued to burn, the damage eventually wiping out 75% of the museum's floor space. An amateur cameraman filmed as the buildings were quickly destroyed.
You see that piece where the firemen are trying to damp down now? That wasn't even going. Earlier, the whole lot's just gone in like no time at all.
Today, bikes that were once untouchable, gleaming exhibits were being cleared out like old junk. Many will be heading for the scrap heap. Others may be salvageable. For the man who spent 30 years restoring these bikes, this was a soul-destroying sight.
To see it like this is unbelievable, total devastation. Can't believe it.
One thing I will say is that both Colin and Roy, once the initial feelings of hurt about what had happened had gone, they immediately started talking about restoration and getting this museum back to its former glory. I mean, these are the machines that have been actually got out of the halls, and as you can see, although they look in terrible state, well, Colin was looking at these and saying, yes, we can restore these machines. There are people out there who can build us the parts to get these machines back into their gleaming state. It might be difficult to believe that. Certainly when I was looking at these machines, I just thought, how on earth are they going to get these motorcycles back into their former glory? But they were very confident that they can do that. 2 other interesting facts that have come out today. There is a £500,000 Wurlitzer organ in the basement of this building, and Roy Richards is very concerned that that may have been damaged by the water when the fire services were here. And obviously many people have their wedding receptions here, and I know that they have certainly been cancelled this weekend and for many weekends to come.
Eric, thank you.